Alright, hey, this is the review for the final. I'm going to try to get as many problems in as I can in 15 minutes, so we're going to just kind of go through these pretty quickly. You can replay them if you need to find anything you might have missed, okay? I'm going to go through a lot of them that we seem to struggle with in class as well, just so you can see those again. Hopefully it makes a little more sense to you now that you've seen it in class and then you're seeing it again on here. Okay, so this is our first expression, 6n minus 3 times quantity 2n minus 5. Okay, so again, we've got this 3 attached to parentheses. Can't simplify anything in parentheses. So we're going to bring down the 6n to begin with. Now remember, we could change this to 6n plus negative 3 times 2n minus 5. Remember, subtracting a positive is the same as adding a negative, right? So now you see it a little clearer that you need to distribute not just 3, but you need to distribute negative 3 to everything. Okay, if you can see that here, you don't have to rewrite it. It's just for those of you that maybe it doesn't come as naturally that you see that. Okay, so again, we got 6n. We haven't done anything with that yet, right? Negative 3 times positive 2n, that's going to get us a negative 6n. Okay. And then negative 3 times the negative 5. Remember, this could be rewritten as plus negative 5. Well, what's negative 3 times negative 5? That's positive 15, right? Okay, so we got 6n minus 6n. Well, that makes 0n plus 15. And 0 times any number you plug in for n is always going to get you 0. So this is really just 15 as an answer. Okay? And again, you can go through these again if you need to. I'm going to kind of go through them quickly. Alright? So let's just see something a little more simple so we can talk a little bit about what it means. Let's say we got 8. Well, let's not make 8. Let's lower the number a little bit. Let's do 3 times 6a plus 7. So again, all you need to do here is the distributive property, but I want to show you the long way. Remember, multiplication, 3 times all of this is just repeated addition. So you really have 6a plus 7 plus 6a plus 7 plus 6a plus 7, right? It's just 3 of those, 3 of everything in there. Well, you got 6a plus 6a plus 6a, that gives you 18a. 7 plus 7 plus 7 gives you plus 21. Well, if you distributed, what's 3 times 6a? 18a. What's 3 times 7? Plus 21. You get the same thing, right? Alright, something you haven't seen on this sheet that you might see not only on your final, but in general, you might have something like 5 minus 3x plus 12. Well, it's saying 5 minus all of this, okay? 5 minus how many of these? Just 1, right? There's an implied and imaginary 1 there. It's saying 5 minus 1 of these, right? I'm going to take that off there just so you know that it's 1 of them, right? But we still have to distribute, in this case, just the negative. We have to distribute negative 1. Okay, so we got 5 still, and instead of 3x, we've got minus 3x now. Okay, and instead of plus 12, we've got minus 12, because you got to distribute that negative 1 to everything in there, right? You're not distributing 5. Okay, that 5 is you're taking 5 minus all of this. Okay, so really 5 minus 3x minus 12. Okay, don't forget to distribute the negative to everything in there. Okay, now what can we combine here? Well, we can combine 5 and negative 12. So if you start at 5 and you take away 12, you're going to be in the negatives, and that's going to be negative 7 minus 3x. Okay? Or negative 3x minus 7. Same thing. Okay? So that's just so you see that, so you're familiar with that. All right, let's move into some of the fractions and decimals. So Remember, Tuesday we're going to be doing fractions, Wednesday we're going to be doing decimals with this stuff. Okay, so here's an example of a fraction one. 1/6 times 12n plus 36. Sorry, I had somebody at the door there. Okay, so again, there's no different than normal numbers. Okay, it's 1/6 of this whole thing. Instead of a 6 being out here, now we've got 1/6 of everything. So we're still going to distribute. That 1/6 is still attached to the whole thing. All right, but we got to find what is 1/6 of 12n. Well, if you remember how fractions work, you just multiply top and bottom, right? Well, what's 1 times 12n? 12n, 6 times 1 is 6. What is 12n divided by 6? Well, that gives you 2n. Okay? So when you distribute 1/6 to 12n, you're saying what's 1/6 of 12n? That's 2n. Same thing here. What's 1/6 of 36? So we know it's going to be plus 1/6 of 36. What's 1 times 36? 36. 6 times 1, 6. What's 36 divided by 6? That gives you 6. So, well, your answer would be 2n plus 6. Okay? All right, so let's go through another one of those that's maybe a little more challenging. Let's see here. I'll pause this while I find a good one. All right, so we got 1/4 y plus 3/4 of the quantity y minus 8. So again, even though these are fractions, it's the same concept as when we were working with whole numbers. Okay? If there's anything in parentheses we can take care of, we'll do that first. Right here, there's nothing we can do, right? So we've got to distribute 3/4 to everything. So this isn't going to change. We'll just bring this down. 1/4 y. That hasn't been messed with yet, right? Plus, what's 3/4 of a y? Well, that's just literally 3/4 y. 3/4 of 1y. Okay? Minus, what is 3/4 of 8? So if you want to multiply that out, you can. 3/4 of 8, right? What's 3 times 8? 24. 4 times 1, 4. 24 over 4 is 6. So that would be minus 6 there, right? Now, again, what can you combine now? Well, now we've got 1/4 of a y, and we're going to add that to 3/4 of a y. Well, that makes 4/4 y minus 6, which 4/4 of a y is just 1 y minus 6, and 1 y is just y minus 6. Now, you might need to go through that a few more times to see that and understand what we mean by that. But yeah, it's the same as just normal whole numbers, okay? Don't panic with those things, all right? All right, here's another problem. We got 15 times this quantity minus 4m. So here, the 15 is attached to parentheses, so we're going to distribute 15 to everything, right? Now, can you combine anything in the parentheses to begin with? No, we couldn't. So we're going to go ahead and distribute 15. So you got to look, what is 15 of, we'll just do 1/5 m, okay? Which is the same as 1m over 5, right? 1/5 m. Okay, what's 15 times 1m? That's 15m. 1 times 5 is 5. What's 15m divided by 5? That's 3m. Now remember, it's a positive times a negative, so this would be negative 3m. Okay? Now we got 15 times positive 2, which is just positive 30. And then we got minus 4m, right? Okay? What can we combine now? Negative 3m, negative 40, right? We get negative 7m plus 30. Can't combine anything else. That's what we get. All right, we'll work more with fractions in class. Now we're going to move to decimals. So we got 2.5a plus 5 plus 4.5a plus 3. Again, you can only combine like terms. Well, we've got 2.5a's and 4.5a's, So if you take 2.5 plus 4.5, we get 7, right? So we got 7a's plus, and then we got 5 plus 3 is 8. So that's your answer there. Okay, that one's pretty simple there. All right, on this one we've got a 0.5, and it's attached to these parentheses, a negative 16p minus 6. So there's nothing in the parentheses we can take care of, so we got to distribute this 0.5. Well, 0.5 is really 1/2, right? What's 1/2 of negative 16p? It's negative 8p minus, what's 1/2 of 6? 3. Okay. Alright, this one's a rather lengthy one, but can we combine anything in parentheses here? No, we cannot. 8y cannot combine with 16, but we can distribute this 0.25, this 1/4, 1/4 to everything in there, right? Because it's attached to the parentheses. So what's 1/4 of 8y? That would be 2y. Plus, what's 1/4 or 0.25 of 16? That would be 4. And then we still have plus 9y minus 3. Okay? Now we got to combine like terms. We got 2y's plus 9y's, we get 11y's, and then 4 minus 3, we get plus 1. Alright, this one here, again, we can't combine anything in parentheses, but we can distribute this 3 to everything, right? So we just bring the 3y down, plus, what's 3 times y? Well, that's another 3y. Minus, because we got 3 times negative 2.5. What is 3 times 2.5? That is 7.5. Now, what can we combine out of this? The 2 3y's. We get 6y minus 7.5. Alright, right here we got 3 problems in a row. I'll go through real quick. So, remember, you can also factor. They might want you to factor, so that's what we're doing here. This will be factoring. Okay, these are factoring these. Now remember, you want to pull out the greatest common factor out of these, right? So, clean things up first. If we got 20y minus negative 5, what's subtracting a negative the same as? That's the same as adding a positive, right? Now, what can we pull out of both of these? The greatest common factor we can pull is a 5. So I'd write the 5 and then the parentheses. Well, 5 times what gets you this 20y? It'd be 5 times 4y. Plus 5 times what gets you 5? That'd be 1. So that's it for that one. Okay. Again, clean things up before you start factoring. So we got 4y plus 22 plus 7y. Well, we can combine those y's and get 11y plus 22. Now, what's the greatest common factor we can pull out of that? 11. 11 times what gets you 11y? Well, 11 times 1y, or 11 times y. Plus 11 times what gets you 22? 2. That's it for that. Okay, again, clear things up here. 24y, adding a negative, same as subtracting positive 3, right? Now, what's the greatest common factor we can pull out of everything? A 3, right? So, when we pull a 3 out of 24y, that gives us 8y. 3 times 8y is 24y. Minus 3 times what gets you 3? 1. Okay? And if you made it this far into the video, I'm going to finish up with giving you 2 really good ones here. Okay? So again, in the parentheses, we can't take care of anything yet, so we need to distribute things attached to the parentheses. So in this case, it'd be 3 times 4m, which is 12m, 3 times negative 2, which is negative 6, minus 2 times m, which is 2m. And then you got to also distribute that negative 2 to the positive 5, which gets you negative 10. Okay? Remember, subtracting a positive, same as adding the negative 2 of all that, right? Then you can combine like terms. 12m minus 2m gets you 10m. Negative 6 minus 10 more gets you minus 16. And then this would be it for this one, right? That's it. Nothing else you can combine. Alright, so on this last one, I want you to find the perimeter of the outer rectangle. I did it 3 different ways for you. I want you to look at them and see if you can figure out how I did it each way. So the width of this rectangle on the outer is x. The length of just one of these rectangles is 2.5x minus 3, but we've got 4 of them across, right? So I want you to see all the different ways that I did this same problem and see how we got to the same expression. Okay, good luck on your finals. Thanks for watching. See you later.